One.
One.
21
All right, it
points.
says we are live. It says we are, in fact, live. There's that awkward moment. Again, I always think it's like, I think we're unprofessional having that awkward moment. And then, like, I watch the Dale Jr. Ask Jr. portion of his live broadcast on YouTube, and I see him do the exact same thing. I'm like, Dale Jr. has tens of millions of dollars more than me. So if he's doing it, it's not that bad. And hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined on the other end of the tin cannon string by Easy.
Happy Daytona 500. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong show. Never mind.
It is dual day.
I know.
It's rained out, but still, we're close.
And yep, as we're live, it's right now a rain delay.
Yes. And also joining us on the other end of the tin cannon string is Eric Wade.
Yeah, wet fingers and soap. I have a brand new joke, and it just killed the first time I told it ever. Easy, still laughing. That's the only encouragement I need. So
I'm gonna lose my channel one day, and it's gonna be because of this ass clown.
you're gonna gain followers
If you
because of
ever
this. Definitely.
if you ever sell merchandise on Redbubble, you're gonna need a T-shirt that says "I'm trying not to get banned here."
Trying not to get banned here. I'm just here so I don't get banned. Oh, I just quoted Kyle.
Yes,
I just
there we
quoted
go.
Kyle Busch. I might as well just shoot myself right now. That's bad.
Well,
But
stop doing all that cussing in the first minute.
the cussing just demonetizes you now. If you make completely ridiculously inappropriate jokes, like somebody can flag me and I can get banned, like banned. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, we got a few things to talk about this week. Never seen the show before. This is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I met these two gentlemen at All In Chicago. We love wrestling. We became friends through wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love talking wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans, like each and every one of you out there. However, our opinions are just that of other passionate wrestling fans like yours. We're not insiders. We're not wrestlers ourselves. We're just marks. We avoid insider terms because I don't know you're on the right to use those. But yeah. So yeah.
We're just Tommy Wiseau's marks. Oh, hi, Mark.
Do you guys ever watch Celebrity Deathmatch?
I've heard of it. I've never watched
They
it.
had the Undertaker on there trying to beat a demon out of a possessed child of the announcer, and I remember the demon's it's legitimately the Undertaker doing the voice, I know everything, and I even know your real name, Mark. He's like, what? No, my name is not Mark. It is the Undertaker. Oh sure, Mark. Mark, shut up.
Um,
Shut up, Mark. Shut up.
I remember that.
Legitimately, the Undertaker doing this exchange with him and trying to lure the child back out with candy, to fight the demon himself. It was pretty funny. So
I would rather watch that episode than Raw this week.
Oh yes, and we're definitely gonna get
In
to
fact,
that.
could we? Could we just go back and watch that one? Those are great shows. That was like the peak of the night, or like not the '90s, but the peak of the popularity for like claymation back when that was popular for a minute.
Absolutely. So, well, let's get to SmackDown, and maybe.
Do we?
Well, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, it wasn't a bad show. Like the first segment with Roman was not a bad segment. Daniel Bryan and Cesaro was pretty good. With Cesaro winning, which any small, as much as I'm happy about Cesaro winning, and it was a good match. Any outside hope I had of Bryan getting a title shot at WrestleMania, that went bye.
Well, I don't know because Edge is still undecided up to still now. If I think I
Bianca
think
Belair is
the plan,
undecided.
but I think the plan of like Sheamus going through with versus Drew at Mania, and then Roman may go versus Bryan or something. I'm still optimistic that we're still going to get some good matches at Mania, but then Edge just
I
does
think
like
we
the
will get some good
NXT
matches at
thing.
Mania. I just don't. I don't think it's going to be as good as the Mania that the three of us attended 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh no.
but yeah, I don't know. Like even after watching SmackDown and Raw, it's still they're still waiting for after Elimination Chamber to really announce the card or to really announce whatever. So they're like dragging it out, but
Yeah, there was.
they might just do the right
And
thing.
WrestleMania tickets have still not been released, from what I've heard.
Yeah, neither have AEW Revolution tickets. What the actual fuck? I'm looking at you on that
Wait,
one,
isn't
AEW.
Revolution in like a month or so?
Less than a month. I'm looking at you. I'm dead looking into the camera at you, AEW. What the fuck?
Maybe Florida's finally coming to their senses.
Nah.
Who knows? Maybe they might have to relocate everything to North Carolina. I don't know. I had to make that joke.
Yeah, there actually was a
And I was
NASCAR
still
reference
like-
for that North Carolina or last year, so that was still cool.
That's also sadly that's the one AEW joke I can't get behind. I don't get the North Carolina thing.
I think it's just because it's supposed to be obnoxious. They used it in the Bubba Wallace commercial. I'm standing by it. They took it.
I know. Well, we'll see.
But triple threat match, Apollo Crews, Big E, Sami Zayn. I liked this match a lot, actually. Like, it's not like no 5-star classic or nothing, but like it's a good TV match that really showcased 3 talented individuals really well. So, then but it did kind of fall flat with Edge not knowing what he's gonna do. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is. But I didn't think SmackDown was a bad show in the slightest. I thought SmackDown was a good little show. Like, of all the things that, you know, NXT has the better wrestling, but I feel like SmackDown is still the more... looking in terms of WWE only, SmackDown's more consistently, like, the better show, in-ring work excluded. Does that make sense?
But they'll have good matches
Yeah.
every now and again too. Like they don't.
Okay, we got
I'd
Mercedes,
much rather
Ray,
watch
and
SmackDown.
Michelle all in the house. Thanks for dropping by.
It's just too bad that they're on Friday night instead of Monday. They should switch places.
Honestly, I
I don't know.
I wish they were back on Thursday, and then we could. I don't know. NXT. Honestly, I wish NXT would go to Thursday, and we would just go live after NXT. Then we could literally have Raw Monday, Impact Tuesday, AEW Wednesday, NXT Thursday, Friday Night SmackDown, and cool. You know, there's wrestling
And then Saturday would be our show.
That'd probably help the. That'd probably help
Yeah,
the
Saturday
ratings for
could be
them
our
too,
show
because-
because I'd make time for a Saturday. Fuck yeah.
But they would.
I don't know if anybody
they-
would. I don't know if anybody would watch the show live because they'd be out doing, you know, stuff. But hey,
Yeah.
But they could be doing at home stuff, so they could still watch us. Or listen.
or listen, they'd be at the bar going, "Who are these idiots?" And
We are
what's all that
just
shit behind them?
We are just mods, but you can call me Stan.
All right, so
Anyways,
Raw results. Oh dear, we're gonna have to talk about Raw.
well, Shane McMahon came back because what happened to Raw Underground?
Here comes the money.
Hey, when I was in first Raw show I ever went to, though, Shane came back in Detroit, and holy shit, was it loud!
Yeah, I mean, I of all the McMahon, Shane's my favorite. I just feel like
Yeah,
whoever, you know, wrote him his last go round killed all of Shane's goodwill among the fans. Like, and before some people we know go, "Well, that's heat, brother." It was the wrong kind of heat. I went up and took a shit during Shane McMahon's match at WrestleMania. Okay.
But really, his match against Miz, I thought it was actually pretty cool.
I heard it was cool. Just like it's 8 hours and you got to pick your spots. That was my spot. Shane
You
McMahon.
took a shit.
That was a good shit, and it was also a good beer and a good hot dog. And if I could leave the arena and go back in, it would have been a good dip of chew. All that
He
good
should have
stuff.
Roman Drew. Like, oh,
I did leave during
God,
Roman
man.
Drew too, and the women's tag title match. Those were the 3 matches where I'm like, okay, I gotta pick my spot. I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss. You know, I want to miss Bryan and Kofi. I don't want to miss Seth and Lesnar. I don't want to miss Becky in the main event. I don't want to miss, Demon King. But the women's tag title match this wasn't really interesting to me. Wasn't really a big fan of Roman Reigns and Drew and Shane McMahon. It's like, okay, here are my spots where I can go relieve myself or get food or something like that.
I will admit though, like I am a little bummed I missed Drew's epic like bagpipes entrance. Like I actually thought, like when I look back, I was like,
But see,
okay,
I couldn't
that
see the
was
I was
good.
behind the entranceway. I could see the ring perfectly, but I couldn't see any entrances. So I'm just kind of like, I'm missing all the good entrances. But let's force ourselves to talk about Raw.
We have the Elimination Chamber matchup.
I mean, we got Orton
Yeah,
Hardy,
Orton, Hardy.
AJ, Miz, Sheamus. So
I'm like, wait, like, why Miz? He could just. Are you really trying to set up like he could literally just be WWE champion and Mr. Money in the Bank? Be like, haha, if you try to beat me, I'm just gonna try to throw my rematch clause at you right here, right now.
or he could give the briefcase to Morrison.
True, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anymore about what they're doing. New Day had a match against everybody's favorite faction. And
we also have an AJ.
We got to see Orton versus Drew. That's pretty rare.
We have that's pretty rare. You don't see that every day. But Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles. Actually have AJ win by submission. That's not too bad. So then we go to the New Day and Retribution. So I like the New Day. Don't really like Retribution.
I don't think anybody does.
Okay, so I asked this of the chatters or anybody that's here online.
Let everyone go around and say one nice thing about Raw.
No. Who the actual fuck is Bad Bunny? Like, I'm all for Booker T. I'm all for people like Booker T getting some publicity because I love Booker T. But who the fuck is Bad Bunny and why the fuck should I care about him? Call me a fanboy. There's 2 people out there that might be watching who's going to call me an AEW fanboy, and please bring it on.
No,
bring
they're
it
going
on
to call you old. They're going to say, you just don't know, man. This is the new generation of music, man. And me and you are going to...
I'm saying that.
Would you kill you guys to listen to some Frog Hat? But,
right.
kids.
No, they're not going to call me old. They're going to call me and say, you don't understand. Fucking AEW has Shaq. Why are you so mad about Bad Bunny? It's like, because Shaq is a fucking icon. I can see, I don't like it, but I see what's going on. Bad Bunny is not fucking Shaq.
Well, it'd be like, I guess it'd just be like if Miley Cyrus or something appeared and then all of a sudden she just stays around for a few weeks and it's like, why is Miley Cyrus here again?
Exactly.
This is all ratings for people that like that music, but it's not for us.
I was watching
or maybe, I don't know, but maybe Easy's really into hip hop.
Easy,
you like Puerto Rican hip hop, don't you?
And I was watching the top 10 Raw moments, and I know when they had the match Damian Priest was in, and I see some other dudes wait, who's that? And I was like, oh wait, that's Bad Bunny. Oh, okay. Yeah, frankly, I don't care at this point. It's you want to bring in musicians, okay, fine. WWE's done that for years, but Bad Bunny? Really? Does he have...
I don't know who that is. I know I am not cool. I am not hip in pop culture. I don't...
Does Bad Bunny really have...
I thought WAP was what happens when Spider-Man flings his web. Apparently it's not. So, I don't know anything about pop music or pop culture. I don't know anything. But I mean, like,
Bobby.
He's got 48 million monthly listeners on Spotify. I literally just
Okay.
looked that up. But again, it's like Bad Bunny.
okay, well, I got my answer. Michelle says, as a Mexican, Bad Bunny is too big for the Hispanic community, so WWE is taking the chance. He's also super popular on kids. I guess there's investment. Just take it easy on you. Bad Bunny is mad. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Like, I don't get
If
it.
it
Like,
was somebody
I get
like
Shaq.
Post
I get
Malone-
Shaq, and I don't like basketball, but I get Shaq. I guess because I don't like hip hop, I'm not
If
Hispanic.
it was someone like Post Malone or Travis Scott, that would actually gain a bit.
Oh,
But
Travis
Bad Bunny,
Scott, the
it's
guy
like,
that had the meal at McDonald's. Like, it's this big deal. You can get the Travis Scott meal. What is it? It's a quarter pounder with some lettuce, a barbecue sauce for your fries, and a Sprite. So it's like something you could get
Okay, that's
any
actually
day of the
not bad.
week. No, but it's like, get the Travis Scott meal. It's like, or you could just, not call it the Travis Scott meal and go, yeah, I'd like quarter pounder with some lettuce, Sprite, and I'd like some barbecue sauce for my fries, please. It's not a
Yeah,
big
I
deal.
do the Daniel Bryan and
they
just
could
don't
go to
eat there.
France and get a Royale with cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah, it's just
See,
I don't know.
if
Like
we're
I said,
too
it's
old for Bad Bunny. I hope y'all are too young for Pulp Fiction.
just
And we're
there's
older
reaching
than
out for
Easy.
new viewers through music
Yep.
that we just don't understand
Yeah,
or
I'm the
get,
youngest
or
in here,
whatever,
I
but it's
think.
not for us.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking the idea. I mean, like, obviously, Michelle and Chet just said that apparently this is a good call. I just don't get it. I get Shaq.
I've never heard of him. I've
No.
never heard of him until the Royal
I've heard
Rumble.
of him. I
Yeah.
just don't listen to
I
him.
get Shaq. I even like got Snooki back in the day. I thought it was stupid, but I got it. I get certain
Steve-O.
celebrities involved. This is one I just
like-
did not get.
Just like the special guest Raw general managers we had for God knows how long.
Bob Barker was the best. Fight me.
No, I know.
And-
There was some memorable guests, like especially when we had ZZ Top. It's like that's funny. But there's some moments where it's like, I'll pass.
Charlotte versus Lacey Evans with Ric Flair getting taken advantage of some more.
Because Charlotte's got daddy issues again.
Apparently. So, Edge does segments.
And
More Bad
Ric
Bunny
Flair, I think, is
stuff.
trying to find another wife.
Edge
That's
literally
too far.
goes.
That's too far.
If you listen to what he said, he didn't say anything. He goes, I have a choice. I can either choose Roman or I can choose Drew. But do we have Elimination Chamber? And I don't know who's going to be the champion, and I don't want to take odds. So the best thing to do is to wait for after the Elimination Chamber. And then Miz comes out and says what he's planning on doing. He goes, "Did you just tell me what you're going to do? So maybe I'm not going to do that after all." And it's like, dude, so yes or no or what? Like, what are you doing? Just go after the NXT thing. I was like, just there.
Yeah, let's go to NXT
Yeah,
because
you
I
don't-
want to see that match. Please.
Yeah, this is like my mind made up.
Please.
I don't want to see another 5-minute waste of my life of fucking. I'm feeling this way, but I'm also feeling this way. It's like, oh my god.
Also, can they bring No Way Out back? Like, please, that was a better nickname or a better name for a pay per view.
Yeah, I agree. Keep call it no.
Michelle said, not to sound old or mean, but I am old too, or whatever. She says, if you don't know who Bad Bunny is, then that totally dates you. That's it. I get that all the time because I work
I
with
know
kids,
who
especially,
Lil Nas X
and
is
like
because I
they'll
love
bring up
Old
stuff
Town
that I've
Road.
never heard of, but every kid, everyone in the world has heard of shit, and that I
I'm
just feel old all the goddamn time.
I'm old, and I don't. But see, I'm not familiar with the hip hop scene. I don't like. No offense. I don't like hip hop music. I don't know any of that. Like, and I don't listen to pop music. I keep it on. I either keep it on oldies or I keep it on the rock station. I know who Shinedown is. I know who.
Yes.
I know Bad Wolves. I know them. And I know a lot of stuff about comic books y'all don't know. I know who Brian Hitch is. I know who Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are. Like, those are the A-list celebrities in my eyes. Voice actors. I know who Steve Bloom is. He's like A-list. Sean Schimmel. Those are A-list guys. But Bad Bunny. I could walk past Bad Bunny on the street and not even be able to tell who he is. But Booker T was with him. I would say hello because Booker T's cool.
Everyone knows who Shaq is. Shaq's like, he's from an era where basketball was like the thing where everybody everyone knows who Michael Jordan is, everyone knows
Everything
who
was
Shaq is, everyone knows who
everything
Kobe
in the
is. Like,
'90s. Let's
but if you told
Exactly.
me a newer basketball player, I wouldn't know because basketball died off, like just like
I
everything
think
else. But back
I,
in its peak of like every eyeball's on it,
it would depend
Shaq
on the
was from that
player,
era.
actually, on
I
the
don't know.
popularity.
I'm so far out of the loop on sports because I pretty much just only like really follow Cardinals baseball at this point. So
Rocket
like,
Bowl.
or the St. Louis Battlehawks when they're around. So like, I didn't even know
Maybe
Philip Rivers played.
XFL's coming back.
I didn't even know Philip Rivers played for the Colts. That's how out of the NFL loop that I was. So anyway,
I didn't know who played the Super Bowl this Sunday. My friend asked me. Who do I thought won? And I was like, I don't even know who was in it. What was it? East versus West? And they laughed. Oh no, really? Take a guess. I was like, fucking, I don't know. Probably Tom Brady. He wins every year. And it turned out he actually won because he was in. I assumed he won as a part of the Patriots. And then I read the story after. No, he got traded this year to the Buccaneers, and then fucking
He
won
didn't
it.
get traded.
I was like, dang, dude. And people say wrestling's fake. Like how much, like not knocking the league or whatever, but like how
Right.
fucking.
And you know what's funny? Like, because of, the stupid thing called stage racing in NASCAR, I can still identify who's driving for who, because it's like, I still keep in the loop about NASCAR, just news, rumors, and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I love the new generation of
NASCAR is the
drivers.
sport the most like pro wrestling. Outside like MMA,
Yeah.
NASCAR is the most like pro wrestling.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like it's
There's always a new
personality-driven.
generation of drivers.
And it's always
personality, yeah.
personality driven. But getting back to what everybody came here to hear us talk about, not us fumble our way through not knowing who rappers and
Next week,
sports stars
just
are.
us sports smarts.
So it'd just be easy talking while I go, ooh, I know who won the Daytona 500. Ooh, that guy plays for the Cardinals. Anyway, Riddle, Keith Lee, this was a thing. I like Keith Lee. I don't like Riddle. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Not really. I can't stand that little dude.
All right, good, because we're going to talk about the next match. It's Lana with Naomi versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And it started a meme. The worst.
Oh my god! I didn't catch this.
I'm going to pull in my inner comic book guy. Worst
I didn't catch
meme
this live, and I
ever.
wish I did.
Oh,
Oh my god!
oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody, or your hole better call somebody, because so like Nia does a fucking like
You had to send me a video of this too. Like
I had to. So Nia goes for like a leg drop on the apron and she misses, and then she's like, she's kind of selling, and she goes, my hole, and I'm like, what? What
Yeah,
did
she
I
probably
just
got to call
witness?
it. She
no,
probably
like
gotta
Booker
call some
T.
X-Pac
Tell
after
me,
that.
I did not just see that.
X-Pac apparently has ripped his hole a couple of times, so he probably
Yes, he
called her
has.
to see
He's tore his asshole twice going for a Bronco
on the
Buster.
Bronco Buster.
That was one
Yeah.
question I did not ask him at the StarCast eat and greet. So what was it like tearing your asshole? I did not ask him that. He was He was a nice guy, and that's just not something I wanted to ask the man. I didn't want to ask
I saw
him.
him walk through the airport with his little tiny dog. That was the
Oh,
first
she's
thing I yelled
sweet.
across the airport.
She's a
Hey,
sweetheart of a dog.
X-Pac, how's your asshole? I got escorted out immediately. Yes, they roughed me up on the way out.
Okay. Fuck. It only took us how long to go off the rails? Like, seriously? But anyway,
It's about wrestling. It's about X-Pac.
yeah. Did you actually say that?
No, God, no. I just saw him and I was like, hey, it's X-Pac.
I can see you saying that. Maybe not the escorted out of the building and getting roughed up, but I can see you saying something like that.
No, I saw him walk by and I was like, oh shit, that was X-Pac. And then he was walking fast, so I didn't want to bother, like run after him. But I saw one person take a picture as he was like walking up to them, kind of a thing,
X-Pac is one of the cooler wrestlers you'll meet. His dog is a sweetheart, but the funniest thing about that whole
didn't he bring his dog to StarCast?
Yeah. He was at the eat and greet. He had his dog with him while we were having like brunch with him. But the one thing X-Pac said, he said, I'm more like before everything. He said like, thank you all for coming, but I'm just letting you know this before we get started. I'd be willing to try and answer any questions you may have, but keep in mind, I've had 4 concussions. I've had 4 documented concussions, and I've done a fuck ton of drugs.
He actually said that.
Yeah, and I've done a fuck ton of drugs.
That's got to be a T-shirt of Xbox.
So I guess you just press it like, I may not remember every detail of something. I've had 4 documented concussions and done a fuck ton of drugs.
So I'm gonna write a song about that one.
Just the last part. I've done a fuck ton of drugs.
So that story's more interesting than Raw, even with Naomi and Shayna Baszler. And like I said, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, because that match hasn't been done.
You tell me they've never had a match yet?
Yeah, oh my god.
Does anybody on this call
I hope it was for the title.
know of a segment on Adult Swim called Too Many Cooks?
No.
You know Too Many Cooks, Eric.
Oh no, I thought you meant Something's Burning.
It's like this, like it was like a joke segment, like the debut of Too Many Cooks, and it's just like it's like just like a continual opening, like where they keep introducing the actors like a sitcom opening with this song Too Many Cooks, Too Many, and there's like the whole thing like, and just keeps getting more and more ridiculous, and they keep introducing more and more actors, and that's just all it is for like 20 minutes.
Mm.
So on Botchamania, they had like with Randy Orton and John Cena, you know, like they had them on Raw, and it like showed like the intro, like, you know, whoosh, John Cena, whoosh, Randy Orton. So for the ending, like it showed like every like promo package or like versus screen of John Cena and Randy Orton with that song Too Many Cooks playing. That's what we're getting to here with Randy Orton and fucking Drew McIntyre. We're getting into Too Many Cooks territory.
It's like The Simpsons when they're filming Radioactive Man. They're like, we need to shoot it again, angle and an angle and an angle and angle.
Kind of. I'll send you guys if it's still on YouTube. I will send you guys Too Many Cooks.
I just looked it up, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Think of that with wrestling, and that's what we're kind of. That's where we're getting. That's where we're getting. So
they're just hoping that eventually, and you know that later too, like in 5 years, they're going to be like, "That was the greatest rivalry, Randy Orton and Drew." And it's like, no, nobody liked it. You guys just kept on doing it, though.
Yeah.
You ran out of ideas.
You know, WWE. You mentioned that WWE, if they don't try and put that this is the greatest something, then it actually ends up being not too bad. Like,
yeah,
people can believe it. Like, oh hey, you know, if like, you know, we did on our year-end wrap up where you talk, you know, like, hey, Randy Orton and Edge was actually a pretty damn good wrestling match. And I think more people would appreciate it if they didn't go, this is the greatest wrestling match ever. Like, if they
greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have put that kind of shit on that wrestling match, I think all of us collectively would have been like, oh, hey, that was actually a sleeper hit. That was pretty good. But instead, they're like, you know, this is the greatest wrestling match ever. And we're like, oh, no, it's not. And then it took away from how good it actually was.
To the max.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
So, let's get to AEW, which is probably the thing everybody wants to hear about. At least in this world. Darby Allin, Joey Janela, TNT Championship.
That was epic.
It wasn't epic. It was Janela's best match, but I wouldn't say it was epic. It was a good match.
I thought it was exactly what I thought it would have been. I thought it was great too.
It's a good match. Like, I'm not a Joey Janela fan. I remember a few weeks ago, Miss Ace kind of said, "Who's somebody you respectfully dislike?" I respectfully dislike Joey Janela. As a singles competitor. This was a good match, because Darby's just that damn good. You know, not taking anything away from Janela, he did carry his weight in the match, but just, this was kind of more... It was a stopgap title defense for Darby. They did a good job on YouTube hyping it up. I'm not taking anything away from the match. I just think it was good. It was good, not great. My opinion.
Yeah, Joey Janela is still kind of backyardy, but I think it's probably one of his better matches. But,
he was in a video as Superhuman.
Yeah, it was a good way to open up the show, though, for sure.
That's true. That's very true. So we have Cody and Lee Johnson versus Peter Avalon and Caesar Bononi. This match was okay. I kind of liked Lee Johnson, and I don't know if people picked up on some subtlety that might have happened at the very end of that match. So Lee Johnson was, kind of talk about all the people that helped him get there. Mentioned Cody, mentioned Dustin, mentioned Brandy, mentioned Arn.
Yeah, he was like reading it off of a goddamn cue card the way he was, how slow he was going.
But he didn't mention QT. And QT looked a little annoyed about it. So maybe down the road we're going to see Lee Johnson and QT Marshall in a program. Maybe. I don't know. Just something I kind of noticed. Overall, the match was okay. I enjoyed Lee Johnson. I'm happy to see Peter Avalon, actually getting featured more and whatnot. But it just, it was what it was. It was a vehicle for Lee Johnson, and there you go. Next up, we have Pac and Ryan Nemeth.
This made me laugh.
Yeah, especially with the way Ziggler was trolling his brother with the ending of the match. I thought it was a good match. I'm starting to kind of get behind Ryan a little bit. I think he's,
well, this felt like an initiation.
It did.
It felt like Pac just beat the shit out of this kid, or made it look like he did at least, and he just the kid just had to sell the whole thing, and Dolph was watching, going like, "All right, awesome." But it is literally just like, all right, you want a match on TV? We'll give you a match on TV. Like, Pac, go have fun with them or whatever kind of a thing. That's what it felt like when I was watching it.
Right. And before this match, there was a segment with the Dark Order and Big Money Matt and Hangman. And, you just feel sorry for the Dark Order and you feel sorry for John Silver. You just do. Because they want Hangman in the group, and he, they gave him so many nice Valentine's cards on BTE, trying to catch him on the flip side, and I guess he's not going to catch John Silver on the flip side. It's sad really. It's heartbreaking. Okay, let's move on. So, Sammy Guevara and MJF. MJF, forget Pac. MJF's the true bastard, and
Did you call him the Diamond Bastard?
He's just a bastard. Like, fuck.
This one was good.
This was a good segment, though. I love the segment.
Yeah. I love how it ended, because when Sammy said that, you want me to say I hate Chris Jericho? I was like, they're going to do one of those things where he edits it together and then make him sound like he said it all like
I know, that's what I was like, okay, first off,
I was like, that's awesome.
But you think they're going to do something like that, but then they go in such a different direction with it. To make, MGF seem more like a... have him seem sympathetic, but more sympathetic to Jericho, but more weaselly to everybody else, which leads to the tag match, The Acclaimed. And this was, The Acclaimed actually rapped well. Again, as we firmly established earlier in the stream, I know nothing about rap, but I can know that The Acclaimed was not any good until this week.
As annoying as The Acclaimed are, honestly... They know how to spawn heat, especially for the rap. But them on the Inner Circle was like, I was laughing like, oh my god, especially like the MJF call out on "You Are My Sunshine." Like,
yeah, that was good. To answer Miss Ace's question in the chat, well, I was kind of trying to keep kayfabe a little bit, but I did see how Matt Hardy tore up the one that Five gave, the Valentine that Five gave him, but I was trying to kind of keep a little bit of kayfabe because of the heartbreak I could see in John Silver and on Twitter from all that.
But for those who didn't watch BTE,
yeah,
I actually haven't been keeping up with BTE lately, but yeah,
it's pretty great.
It is. So.
But we have a bombshell in the works, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this one was like,
This is something I'm really excited to talk about because, Sammy leaving the Inner Circle, I kind of saw this coming. I didn't think it would happen so soon, but I kind of saw it coming. But here's the thing that I want to talk about the most. Sammy was leaving. Sammy said, "I need away from this place." We gonna like. Is Sammy gonna take some time off from wrestling altogether? Are we gonna see him in Impact? Are we gonna see him in New Japan for a spurt? I wouldn't mind seeing Sammy Guevara in the Best of Super Juniors if it goes back to being in May. Goes back to the normal May time slot for the Best Super Juniors in New Japan, but what's going to come of him? He's out of the inner circle. We all knew they were kind of building towards that, but
and especially he leaves in the good guy entrance. Like,
that's true
whoa.
too. Sammy Guevara might be one of the top. A lot of people slept on Sammy, but he's a future AEW World Champion
for sure. Wait, what would he get first, TNT or AEW belt?
Probably TNT.
Okay, I can see that. Or if he were to make a tag team championship with another member, like who would he tag up with if he wants to get the AEW?
I think eventually we're going to see, maybe possibly down the road, we might see the Sex Gods come back. I think Jericho might get burnt by MJF and form back with Sammy. We'll see. I don't know. If he were to form another tag team, I think Sammy. Honestly, I think Sammy, if he was to form another tag team, he's got way too much potential as a singles right now. So, but we will see. But yeah, like this is big. This is the first time anybody's left the inner circle. Like the firm bad guy stable since the very beginning of at least
2 years. 2.
Yeah. So finally someone leaves, and it's like, ooh, okay. It's like when Ole was finally ousted from the Horsemen. First person kicked out of the Horsemen. Where do you go from there?
If you watch Sammy's YouTube, him and Fuego del Sol are like best friends, so you might tag with him.
That'd be cool.
He's the master of the Tornado DDT.
Well, he could finally win the BTE championship.
He has.
Sammy did.
Or he has? Okay, wow, this is how long I haven't been kept up.
I know. That's more heartbreak for John Silver. He's no longer a BT boy.
Yeah, his little legs couldn't kick the football properly.
Yep, nope. Women's World Championship tournament on the United States side. Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. I love
like
this
this
match. Thunder Rosa's the best in the world, at least in the women's divisions are concerned. She is so fucking good.
Can she please be AEW Women's Champion?
And I might have said this before. I really think Layla Hirsch should join Team Taz. Like her style, she is like a female Taz. She's great. I want her as a female representative in Team Taz.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Team Taz, we come out for a Sting interview, and, he's getting ready to do his thing.
Which, of course, didn't last at all.
That's the kind of thing I've noticed. Like, anytime Sting's going to do anything, he gets interrupted. So, he gets interrupted by Team Taz, and they drag Darby Allin away in a car, hooked up to a chain in a body bag, and Darby's in the body bag. It's like, holy shit! That's some fucked
I
up
just thought
shit
that was
there,
a
Taz.
dummy for a moment, but no, it's like no, that's Darby.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that's like.
I mean, it's
Taker taking the casket of the Big Show's daddy.
Boss Man did that, not Taker.
Oh, sorry, Boss Man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. No, you're gonna go. They wrestled each other at WrestleMania that year. It wasn't very good, but they wrestled. Which leads us to the main event.
Oh my god.
This was a good, this was just a good brawl. It was Kenta and Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley and Lance Archer. Falls Count Anywhere match. This was like it was like an old. It wasn't like a classic match by any stretch of the imagination, but it was like it was a good brawl. It was like a good Attitude Era hardcore match.
You know what I mean? The amount of time that we still had left on the show, like this was amazing. And obviously, not surprised the Good Brothers get involved because, of course, they did because of somebody I was kind of hoping for. But it's like, obviously, we already broke the forbidden door open. We're not going to expect everyone to rush in. But just seeing Kenta on AEW was just so satisfying. And especially when they acknowledge Moxley as the IWGP United States Champion.
And
So
he
it's
had
like,
the damn belts
yes.
in a
For
promo earlier.
400 days, like,
Oh,
God.
yeah, no,
And he had his briefcase too.
Yeah, he had the belt on
Kenta
there.
had his
Like,
briefcase.
I really like. Mox
Kenta's
has got
gonna
to
win
lose
it.
that
Like,
damn
there's
belt.
no
Like,
way, like,
unless
Mox is gonna
AEW's
win it.
gonna use that belt on their TV, Mox better lose it and lose it soon because, yeah, the New Japan needs that belt more than Moxley. But this was a good match. Like, again, I'm not gonna overrate it. It was it was just a good brawl. It was a good. It reminded me of like
And
the hardcore division in like 1999 and 2000, where you'd have these like wild brawls, and I like Moxley using potatoes to hit Kenny Omega, like throwing potatoes at him. Like I thought that was cool.
Potato had 3 days left till retirement.
Yeah. Oh yes, Miss Ace brought this up. We almost missed a segment, so and this is a good segment. So Hangman and Big Money Matt are drinking in the bar.
Right.
So, and eventually it seems like that Hangman is going to sign with Big Money Matt, and he's going to sign the contract. And then when Matt turns around to try and be a douche to the camera, Hangman throws the contract away, pulls one out of his jacket pocket and signs it, and then Matt Hardy signs it. And the big question is, well, he did not sign with Big Money Matt. We saw him throw the contract away. But what is on the contract that he did sign and got Big Money Matt to sign?
Wait, I didn't even notice. I think I was just looking at Matt, being like, "What are you doing?" I didn't even notice what Hangman did.
Yeah, Hangman threw it away. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because we about forgot about that. That's actually...
Oh.
We'll get back to the main event, but we got to talk about this.
Wait. Did Hangman probably trick Matt into signing with the Dark Order?
I don't think he tricked Matt into sign with the Dark Order. I don't
I don't
think
know.
that's really a thing.
I don't know.
Not yet. I'm thinking he maybe signed the lease back to the Young Bucks for their locker room, or got them to completely sign the locker room back over. That's one theory. I don't know. We'll find out next week. But this is definitely, of all the things I love about AEW, this is what I want to learn about the most next week. What was in that contract? And
what's in the contract?
And Kenny Omega won. They need help giving the One-Winged Angel to Lance Archer. And I'm of two minds about the decision to have Kenny beat Lance Archer. One, like, you got to protect your champion. You especially one with, like, Kenny Omega, who's potentially going to be winning several other world titles from around the world. You can't make it seem like anybody can beat him, even if it is with the numbers game. But I was also kind of thinking...
Is it going to be like the Hardys winning every tag team belt they go?
I don't know. But on the flip side of things, I was kind of wondering, okay, you're working with New Japan. Well, the one big trope that I like of New Japan is if you can pin the champion in a multi-man, you'll get a shot at the title. And I'm thinking, well, they might be building towards an Archer Omega match down the road, so maybe this will be a good time to have an upset like that for Archer to pin Kenny to get the title shot. I'm of two minds. Both I think would have been acceptable. And obviously, like, I'm not angry that Kenny Omega beat Lance Archer. It's like he's Kenny Omega. He's the champion. He's.
Of course he was going to win it. Like, I knew he was going to win it. I just wanted a damn great match.
But you see what I'm saying on the flip side of things, where, like, in New Japan, you know, if somebody pins Ibushi, they're getting a title shot. You know, they had Okada get pinned in multi-man matches. It's like, oh, okay, well, now Okada's pinned the title against Sonata or Zack Sabre Jr. or what have you. Hell, they even did that when Kenny was the IWGP US champion. He was in the G1 Climax, and, you know, in the tournament match, he wrestled Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson upset him, and when the G1 ended, Juice Robinson got a US title shot. So, like, I don't know, it's kind of one of those, like, I know you gotta make Kenny look as great as you possibly can. And then also, not Archer didn't lose any credibility because he had to have help from essentially Kenny threatening to V-Trigger, Jake the Snake, and the Good Brothers. But part of me was also kind of thinking like, ooh, big win for Archer, setting up a pay-per-view, maybe. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked it though.
I like good match, nice little throwback, and yeah, that concludes AEW. Got a few things to talk about from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ibushi defeated Sonata, retained the double championship, and Naito is challenging Ibushi for the Intercontinental title and not the world title. Ibushi wanted to unify the belts. Naito wants the Intercontinental title, and that is a controversial decision that I'm seeing on wrestling Twitter, because a lot of people think that from a kayfabe perspective, it makes Naito a complete moron. Why would you challenge for the second place belt and not the first? But on the flip side, with the weird history of Naito's relationship with the IC title in New Japan, from resentment to where he literally would destroy it on the way to the ring, to ignoring it, to eventually accepting it only as he can, if he could hold the world title at the same time, to now eventually completely accepting it just as is. I'm not gonna say it's wrestling genius, but it's intriguing. What say the more outside the box New Japan fans?
I would say it's more in his line of his character. I see Naito kind of more of an Intercontinental guy anyway too, because they don't. I don't know. They've
And we saw that kick-ass match at the Garden.
yeah. Like I said before, they just treat him like he's the Dolph Ziggler of the New Japan, and every time he should have had his like white hot moment, they didn't capitalize on it, and now when he did win it, it didn't really matter, and then whatever. But I can see him going after the Intercontinental, and I just hope they divide that. I don't like that it's unified anyway.
Here's my thing.
It's fun, but it gets a little annoying after a while.
Here's the one thing I would like to say. Here's my opinion. Would it, with Naito's character and him having the Intercontinental title on his own and basically keeping it from being unified, that would make kind of the whole Naito full circle, from he originally wants to get rid of the belt, now he wants to save the belt. That's kind of a good story. I like that story. But on the flip side, let's be honest. New Japan could do to get rid of some belts. And the Intercontinental's probably, despite it being one of the older belts that they have, would probably be the best one to get rid of, because it really doesn't represent anything else in the company. Like, there was another YouTuber, and I don't love all of his videos, but he had a solid point here. He said that basically...
Jim Cornette?
No, he does. No, Jim Cornette doesn't even like fucking New Japan, and Jim Cornette is a piece of shit. Fuck Jim Cornette. But anyway, and fuck Bully Ray too. That's gonna piss off a few people.
Well, Jim Cornette said, so here's what I think.
Well, Bully Ray on Busted Open said that AEW's trash, so he's got a point. AEW's kind of trash, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, getting back to the original point, this YouTuber said pretty much the Intercontinental Champion just kind of became the Nakamura belt, where it became that they didn't want to put the world title back on Nakamura, but they wanted him to have something. They wanted to still be Tanahashi and Okada trading the world title, and they wanted Nakamura to have a belt, so that way he could main event, tours where they didn't defend the world title. That's not a bad idea, but when it comes to a belt actually having it wasn't like the WWE Intercontinental title where it's like the workhorse title. It's literally just like hey, here's the second world champion that's not really a world champion, but we don't want to take the belt off of Okada or Tanahashi, but we want to still be able to keep Naito and Nakamura in the ballpark, so we're going to have this belt now.
What does that even mean, Intercontinental Champion? Like, you've been to other countries and wrestled there, or it's like Intercontinental Breakfast, where you're just like a max of everything, like you just wrestle someone from everywhere.
The reason they had it called the Intercontinental Championship is the first New Japan show in the United States. They ran New Jersey, and MVP actually was the first champion. So that's kind of the whole idea behind it, or why it was called that. But, like, when you compare, like, the Never title is supposed to, it's essentially kind of like, the best way to describe it's like the New Japan version of the X Division, only instead of being about high-flying junior heavyweights, it's like, welcome all your styles, are you a Kings Road style, are you a strong style, are you are you a junior heavyweight style? Come one, come all for this belt that, is for everybody. The U.S. title represents the New Japan's expansion, and it really fell by the wayside because it became the least important belt, especially,
Well, I was there for the tournament for night one. I didn't see night two when Kenny won it, but I was there for night one to see. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it like, when Kenny held it, and but then, like, after Kenny held it, it just kind of, like, Jay didn't really do a whole lot with me. Defending against Hangman before Hangman was, like, really a thing. And he had a bunch of hype going into his match against Juice at the Cow Palace, but then, Juice didn't really do anything with it, and then Cody won it, but it was really just Cody won it so that way Juice could slay Cody at the Dome, and then Juice lost it to Moxley, but then Moxley had to forfeit it, and Archer won, and then Moxley won it from Archer, and then Moxley beat Juice again, and then he had a good match against...
could get a haircut.
Yeah. And then he had a good match against Suzuki, and then COVID. So it's like, everything's kind of working against the U.S. title, but at least it, like, has a firm representation on what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the belt for their U.S. branch. It's supposed to represent New Japan's expansion, to the West. The Intercontinental title is just basically, hey, we've had some good matches, and some good people have held it. So, that rambling aside, it's like, do I want them to be unified? Not necessarily. Would I have issue with it being unified, and then the Never title taking the number 2 spot, and the U.S. title taking the number 3 spot as far as the heavyweight singles belts? No, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Not in the slightest.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think it's a good storyline, personally. I know a lot of people that follow New Japan pretty closely on Twitter despise it. And I see their point, and I disagree with them. But I see their point. And, yeah. That's it. Anything else anybody else wants to add?
No. I think we kept an agreement to keep this under an hour.
You know what? Are we actually going to hit the hour? Man, we got to talk about NASCAR some more and go off on other tangents so that way we can actually, definitely.
Let me tell my joke.
There is a SmackDown ad being played right now.
This is the joke that got me banned from YouTube.
Don't tell the joke. You're not getting banned from YouTube.
I legally couldn't go to Texas for 2 years because of this joke. And I'm going to tell it right here on this channel.
You ever see Monty Python? There's the joke that's so funny you die laughing. That's what this joke is. There's going to be blood on my hands if you tell this joke.
This is the greatest joke ever written. That's what WWE would set me up like. No, thanks, WWE.
No, I would tell a dad joke right now, but unfortunately I don't have kids.
Heath Slater does.
Well, why does everyone... Seriously, I tell that joke all the time, and that joke gets passed by, like, really? Guys, you have to think it over, but whatever. I'm too tired to think.
I'm too tired of thinking. I'm actually ready for bed, but,
Yes.
We'll see about the joke next time. Not... Maybe, probably not. No.
Probably never.
But
I'll have another joke by then. I'll tell 2 jokes next week.
Do not
No.
get me banned. This is my channel we're talking about.
Well, it's our.
You're the one over here
channel
talking about
now.
Nia Jax's hole and
that
Pac
happened
hole
on the
and
show, though. That was
Rick
on the
Daniuses
show.
and talking about taking a shit at the Metro Stadium. I didn't talk about taking a shit at the Metro. You talked about this shit taking.
But I didn't finish the rest of the joke. It got very inappropriate, though. But we want to thank you all for joining us. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content. Not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from the world of anime, gaming, comic books, and all things geek culture. Follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89. And if you'd like to help the channel out financially, hit me up on Patreon. It's patreon.com/athleticgeek89. Easy social media, if you please.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna keep this real quick because I'm starting to lose my fatigue right now. But I run mental health motivational channels because especially with this goddamn pandemic, everyone is having a hard time. So I hope to keep everyone's spirits up here. You can follow me at the following at Speakeasy Insta, Speakeasy Snap, Speakeasy TikTok, and Speakeasy Tweets. So
All right.
we can figure out what those social media platforms are. Because again, I'm just tired of talking about them right now. But I always love coming on here. I miss these guys so much, especially through this stupid pandemic. Otherwise, we would all be planning a Revolution trip right now. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen for a while. But anyways, just be safe, everybody, and love yourselves. Just like I respect these gentlemen so much, like my family. Love you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, EZ. And Eric. Hey, you have a YouTube channel. Why don't you post the jokes on your YouTube channel and get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel? Because I forgot you had a YouTube channel there for a minute until I looked through my subscription. I'm like, I'm subscribed to Eric's YouTube channel. So why don't you hype your YouTube channel and tell your jokes
Yeah, maybe
there.
I will.
Maybe you
will. You can do your comedy stand up there.
Yeah.
Now you're wanting him to get banned.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a
Just go to my YouTube channel and listen to my wrestling podcast with my jokes and my. No, I'm just kidding.
Less than an hour, but we really have gone off the rails really hard.
It's all about me. Me.
Got anything for sale on Macari?
Yeah, I just posted some new shit, and then, like I said, I'm moving soon, so I'm going to be posting a lot more stuff, trying to get rid of a lot more stuff, so check it out.
All right, I'll post what he's selling on his social media. Buy Eric shit.
Buy it. Everything's for sale. Everything.
I am selling some of my stuff. I do want to thank the people that have bought a couple things from me. Sold a Funko Pop, sold a Shawn Michaels figure, sold a Pentagon figure. I had two.
Oh, nice.
So I sold a Pentagon figure. Poor Hangman didn't sell. So he is still for sale. Do you wish to own? Hold on, I gotta take the headset off.
Make him an offer. Let's do a live auction.
If you wish to own this Hangman Page figure, go check out my eBay store. Maybe you don't want to own that. Maybe you would like to own this Daniel Bryan figure. That's also for sale. Would you also...
Oh, and it comes with a figure protector sleeve, so those things are expensive.
Would you like to own this Macho Man Randy Savage figure? That's also for sale. Would you also like to own this Seth Rollins figure? That's also for sale. Or, if none of that interests you, if you're in the mood to watch some wrestling, would you like to buy these two out-of-print Ring of Honor DVDs? You got Chris Hero and Lance Storm here. You also got... You also got El Generico and Sanjay Dutt. You got Kenny King and Kenny Omega. This is all for sale on my eBay store. So check it out if you will. But
yeah, fun fact. That's exactly how QVC started. They started as a wrestling podcast, and then they started live auctioning, and next thing you know, we got the shopping network.
Got the shopping network. Don West was there, and he's awesome. Bye! All right. For Eric Wade and EZ, I am the Athletic Geek. We're just marks, and we're out. Have a good one.
Good night.
Oh, yeah.